Recently, someone made a comment on one of my videos saying that they'd like to explore my mind or something along those lines. And I read that comment to my sister because it made me chuckle. And she was like, well, honestly, Erin, you are a weirdo. Some people would even describe you as unsettling. And at first, I was a little offended. However, I took a nap, right? And before I took a nap, I was like really tired in a weird state where I don't feel like I was fully sentient. I wasn't there. And I can't shake the feeling that I made some sort of promise to someone. So when I woke up from my nap, I just had this strange sense of duty and I couldn't remember what it was. And as time went on, little bits and pieces of things came back to me. But as the pieces came back, I couldn't think about who in the world I would have made such a promise to. And the promise involved me framing someone for a very serious crime where I would somehow get their fingerprints on a 3D printed item that I not only 3D printed when I don't have a 3D printer, but also modeled when I don't have any 3D modeling software in any capacity. And I also don't know where any person lives where I would frame them for a crime. And I also don't know how to put people's fingerprints on things other than like taping them down, grabbing their hands, and shoving it on the thing while they're screaming. But the placement wouldn't be believable. I've seen enough things to know that they take measurements and trajectories and all that kind of mumbo jumbo when it comes to crime scenes. They're going to know someone's hand was forced onto an object. And I'm just sitting here like, why would I frame anyone for a crime? And then I remembered that before I fell asleep into my coma, I was watching Breaking Bad. And Hank is currently trying to solve the case. And I want him to solve the case without getting my favorite character put in jail. No, it's not the pink thing or the white thing. If you can figure out who my fave is, I'm not sorry. But I literally was planning on committing crimes just so that Hank could have closure. I still don't have the full context. My brain is very silly, but this is the second time in the past week or so that I have almost taken actual action for fictional characters. So that's silly. Erin, what was the first time this week? I'm glad you asked. I was binging Mob Psycho 100 season 3 because it was the last season. I kept on getting almost spoiled. So I was like, screw it. I'm going to dedicate my morning to watching the show. And I finished it in a single night. I know I said morning. I ended it in the morning. But I like was in the second half in the morning and my dad asked me if I wanted to go to the store with him. And I just have this thing where I enjoy going outside because I don't go out enough. So all you people telling me to go outside, I probably go out more than you. So pee your pants. But there was a scene in season 3 where Reagan he he fixed a statue with grains of rice. So when I was in the store, I, without thinking, just went to like the miscellaneous random aisle that they have there for whatever reason, and they had super glue, and I pulled it off the shelf and was gonna go back to my dad so that we could like go to checkout together. And I was like, why am I getting super glue? I don't have anything that needs to be super glued. And if I do need to glue anything, I either use my normal Elmer School glue or I use my hot glue gun because hot glue guns are silly and fun. And then I remembered, oh my gosh, this isn't for a real person. This is for a JPEG, a drawing that moves and talks. Anyways, I promptly put it back and reconsidered my life choices, and then we ended up in like the baby food aisle, which is also literally next to the dog and cat food aisle. What's up with that placement? And they had a silly little can of food. I think it was like for Blue Diamond or something, and it had a wolf on it, not a dog, a wolf. I also bought baby food.